thanks, Saurabh, for setting the stage. That's going to be the premise for the whole session, today and the later sessions as well, right? Today, this is going to be a slightly, a techie, tech-savvy session, right? So I don't want to go too granular, nor I'll keep it at a very high level. So I'll ensure that it is kept at a level whether, it reaches to you, and then you can apply that to your, day-to-day business, right? So now, bigger impact through AI and BI, right? So now, what is the current premise of BI and what the BI is aspiring to, and how we can how we can achieve that, right? And how Tiger will help you to achieve that. So that's what we're going to talk about. If you see today, BI applications give the ground truth, basically, right? All the KPIs, metrics, and everything. So now the modern BI systems have gone one level up and tried to adopt the Agentic AI and Gen AI features. For example, Microsoft is using Copilot to enhance the existing BI engine. But there are certain gaps that's there, but which is not, they're all able to solve it. I mean, typically, you have all the diagnostic insights when you want to go a level deeper and you want to do any intuitive analysis. So you don't have a premise to do that, right? So now how you can achieve this, right? How you can bridge this gap. So that's what you're going to talk about in the next 20 minutes. And there are certain things which we have to do beyond, what you have to do, on the BI side, and how we can make it as an actionable insight. So that's what we are going to discuss about. I'll take a quick, poll from your side. So take the current, BI system. So is the current BI system giving ground truth metrics as a single source of truth? Is it available today? You can raise your hands. Okay, anybody familiar with BI? Okay, so now is the current BI system able to do any kind of investigative analysis? For example, you have all the ground truths. Can I do a bit more? So is it doing today? Okay, and then next is, once that is done, can I do simulations, prescriptive, predictive kind of analysis? Is it available in any BI systems? So this is what we want to talk about, right? So on the left-hand side, if you talk about the ground truth and if you talk about the single source of truth for any BI system, that is available. So probably all the 100% of any BI tool does it, right? So can I do any investigative analysis? Probably yes. Probably you can do it to an extent of 40-50%. Can we do it beyond it? Maybe not at this point in time, right? When we talk about simulations, what if scenarios, predictive, prescriptive kind of analysis, can we do it today? Maybe 15-20%, right? I mean, within the BI tool, it is not there in most of the BI tools at this point in time. But how we can augment the existing BI system to get there, right? Just that what we are aspiring to achieve. So these are some of the key gaps that we have seen, right? So many big organizations have one or multiple BI systems. So now getting or unifying everything to a single platform and getting the insights out of it is a bigger challenge. So how we can address that, right? And how we can go beyond data, okay? Dialogue with data, basically, talking to your data through conversational agents and getting insights about it, right? So now how far we have reached there, okay? If you take modern BI tools like, Power BI, Tableau, they have Copilot, Tableau agents, and, and other BI tools have their own, their conversational agents. So how far we are able to get it? Maybe, to a localized level, to a model level, or to a report level, but not beyond it. So how we can, improvise that and achieve, a wider breadth in that area. And time to, the investigation, right? So earlier, if you want to do it with a BI tool, you have to go through multiple reports, charts, apply a lot of filters, slice and dice, and finally you get the data. So now how I can do an investigative analysis through a conversational agent, and also how I can action upon it, right? So that's what we are trying to do. And then multiple BI system, as I told you, bigger organization have legacy, modern BI tool. Either we consolidate everything to a single platform, or how we can bring everything to a unified platform where end user don't have to switch between multiple platforms to get the information that they want. And the predictive and prescriptive analysis, this is something which is kind of a needle art. So a BI user, cannot always rely upon advanced analytics team to bring in those insights. That's how this can be integrated. So the AI, the augmented AI, is a natural extension of BI. That's what we are trying to address here. So if you take this is your typical BI system. Anything that you take, right? You have visualization layer, semantic layer, which has ground truths, of all the various systems that you integrate together. It could be structured, unstructured data, everything put together, and your conversation layer also top of it, which comes out of the box. So now, what is that you want to do, more on top of it, right? So basically, we want to expand this existing semantic layer to expanded semantic layer, expanded conversational agent, right? So what it means is that the conversational agent is not only going to talk to your existing semantic layer, rather it will talk to your data layer as well. So once you bring in this, semantic layer and data layer plus AI on top of it, the most important thing is, security and governance also in place, right? So we need to ensure that, the integrated AI and BI governance also in place, so that security, PII, and all those, data governance related aspects are not compromised. So we need to ensure that, all those things are in place. On top of it, whenever a user logs in, right? So there should be a persona context to it. So the moment I log in, it will give me all the persona context related information, so that I can easily action upon what are all the insights that a BI system gives, right? So that is what at a high level we have put together. This is a simple logical view of the existing BI system and what can be wrapped on top of the existing BI system to achieve what the extended analysis that we are talking about. So this is a high level architecture of the BI Next platform. Okay. So what we have is BI today. What is next is what we are trying to achieve here, right? So this is a representative architecture of a Microsoft platform. So since Power BI is a industry-wide leading tool, so we just kept Power BI as an example here. So now if you see on the bottom, these are all the report metadata that we are collecting, right? So on top of it, how we can build agents, right? So now Microsoft out of the box gives you Fabric that will help you to build a lot of Fabric data agents to build your conversation invites on top of it. But apart from that, in case if you want to integrate more than Fabric, more than your semantic model, Databricks has come out with Databricks Genie, Snowflake with Cortex AI. You take Google, you have Vertex there. So now can I integrate everything under the hood seamlessly? Yes, it can be done. So that's what we have done, right? So we have built custom BI Next agent. So that will help you integrate between your semantic layer and also the multiple data layers that we are talking about. Right? That will help you give a seamless experience. So whatever conversation that you want to have against your data, either on BI or data agents, it will give you the overall picture, and it will give you all the investigative analysis, exploratory analysis, your predictive, prescriptive, all the features that you're looking from a traditional BI system or a modern BI system, and also augmented AI system with all the features that you can get out of the box, right? So this is a high-level architecture on how the BI Next agents are built on top of the existing BI platform. I'll quickly hand it over to Venkatesh to talk about
AI systems are restructuring how the BI space was getting looked upon. Now we are double clicking into the core agentic AI solutions that construct or the entire ecosystem that we see. What you see here in the slide is a persona-centric agentic ecosystem. Now, if I want to make any layman understand that how this system works, I would ideally take help of these building blocks to explain the systems. Again, they are much deeper systems, but we'll talk a bit high level on this. Now, for any individual or any user to interact with the agentic system, there will be a need of or an entry point, which is your application layer, which you see on the left side, which is nothing but your user interface. It can be a custom built UI on top of your existing chat systems, or it can be certain enterprise toolkits where you integrate your agentic workflows. A primary component of application layer is authentication and role-based access control, because you will not want everybody to see everything in your BI systems, right? You want to put guardrails, you want to put certain authentication mechanisms in the application layer itself. Now, if I just move on and see the middle block, which is your agentic core, it is the heart of this entire ecosystem. The agentic core consists of specialized agents which are designed to solve certain downstream tasks, all collaborating among each other through a master agent orchestration layer. Now, all of these again has to be built in a way that it provides specific insights for specific individuals, and you cannot design multiple systems. So that's where your persona profiler systems comes into play. The persona profiler is responsible for making the response tailored to an individual persona. It can be a CFO of a company, it can be a junior analyst, it can be a marketing head. So that's how these agentic systems use persona profiling to make your insights or responses tailored to individuals. AI judge or validation block that you see here again is a core component, because the outcomes that you see from any agentic systems or AI systems, you want them to be properly validated and they should make sense based on what the user is looking for. All of this together make sure that the responses are not only powerful but also trustworthy. Now, when you design such complex agentic systems, lot of LLMs, API calls, everything involved in the backend, there's a lot of operational rigor that happens, and that is where agent ops comes into play. Think of this MLOps 2.0 or MLOps for agentic space, right? What it provides as a feature is there are monitoring and observability setups being designed for agentic systems. There are scalability and optimization areas that are needed for systems because you deal with huge parametric large language models, multiple LLMs, vector stores, etc. Right? So there is need of optimization to these systems. On top of it, there is always the need of governance and compliance, which is setting up proper guardrails at each point of your system so that you make sure everything that is generated through these probabilistic models or the LLMs are governed well. Then other components of agent ops would be the prompt flow management or workflow management and the continuous feedback loops that are set up to make sure your system learns over time and becomes more mature. Now, with all of these top three blocks that you see is as good as or any AI system to that fact is as good as the data on which they rely on. And that's where the data layer comes into the play. And the bottom block that you see, where we have categorized them into three blocks. Now, when we are considering or looking into the BI space, the BI knowledge layer plays a very vital role, which is a core data that is being consumed by the system to make all these intelligent recommendation, insights, chat, whatever you want to build. Then comes your enterprise data sources, which consist of data warehouse, external APIs, operational DBs, which are your CRMs, ERP systems, etc. And then comes Knowledge Hub, which is a newly evolved term in agentic world, which consists of vector stores, long-term memory, short-term memory, feedbacks, logs, which make sure that all these agentic setups work in tandem and are not going haywire and going rogue. So all of these make sure there is a proper agentic ecosystem set up and it is contextualized to a persona. But all of these cannot go without the responsible AI coming into play. Responsible AI is not an optional component in the agentic world. It is a foundation, it is a must-have component. And there are multiple areas or multiple topics in responsible AI which has to incorporate your agentic systems, be it accountability and compliance. When I talk about compliance, it is the GDPRs, EU AI Act, and multiple ISO standards that every organization or enterprise has to adapt to. Human oversight and embedded guardrails. Now, as you're talking about AI systems, not everything can be to an automated to 100% mark, right? There is still a room that there is certain human oversight needed on these systems because you are dealing with BI space or business intelligence where every number, every insight matters and it will create an impact on a business decisions. So all of these have to be well governed through human oversight and guardrails, but obviously with a lot of optimization coming with agentic systems. Data governance, again, a foundational principle for AI, ML, and data science world, right? Where you need to understand all the data guardrails that you need to put, what are the data lineages that you have to see while you construct all of this. Security and risk controls. Again, these are self-explanatory, but in very simple terms, when you design such complex systems, there are multiple APIs from where you receive data, get data, connect to multiple systems. There has to be a lot of security protocols has to be followed and laid out in all of your systems. And then finally, your life cycle management, fairness, transparency, and reliability principles. So all of these together make your agentic AI ecosystem tailored for BI space. Now, what we saw is not only POVs, but we have all of these built as Tiger platforms. I'll hand over to my colleague, and he will walk us through certain
Can you switch on to the video, please?
previous video.
The previous video.
Can you go to previous video?
Yeah. So it's not just we just want to give a point of view on what the new the augmented AI system should look like. What you've done is that we already gone a step ahead and built those systems, right? So we can give a quick glimpse of what we have built. All right, so this is what we have built. I spoke about a centralized BI platform, right? So it's kind of a marketplace that we have. So that's what you have built when you have one BI tool or multiple BI tools. So you can have a unified BI catalog like this, and then you can go and you can search your reports, your model, your metadata, everything, and then you can find your reports, from organization model, your own reports and your own repositories, right? So from this, you can actually go and see all your reports because these are directly embedded into your system. So what it means is that you don't have to hop across multiple BI systems, to go and gather insights. Now, this is your reporting layer. So you have your reports, on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is what you have built a conversation layer. So where you can go and, query your data, right? And it can give all your insights. I mean, this is something which is similar to, so this is similar to, what you have in Copilot, but it extends beyond your single semantic model and it works across multiple, models and across multiple data agents as well, right? So on top of it, we have built a KPI store. For example, any user who is coming in and want to, look into any particular KPI or metrics, they need to go into, complete, metric, complete report or metadata to find it, right? So now this metric store will help you to go and identify that metric. And then on top of the metric, you can go bookmark it. And once you ask any questions, right? So then, you can build alerts on top of it, download it as image, you can download it as data. And also, you can share it with your, your colleagues and peers. And we have also built a collaboration mechanism wherein, Microsoft Teams or any, collaboration platform can be integrated as a part of this and it can be shared. On top of it, we also have added a strong governance mechanism, which is, the IT part of it is also added to it, which means it can be centrally governed and administered, and you can, do a lot of, capacity metrics monitoring, and also, simple governance features like adding users, removing users, and then, setting all the access control mechanism. All this can be done as a part of this. And this platform, what you have built is kind of a production-ready platform. And, it can be, it's again, being adopted by some of the users at a, POC level. And soon, it will be implemented across, various customers that you're working with. And the augmented layer, the advanced analytics parts that we spoke about. So that also we have integrated, and quickly, Venkatesh will talk about how we have done that as well, in this.
Awesome. Now that we saw that how AI is reshaping these platforms, right? Now it's about see how smart agentic insights look like. So what you see here is an agentic insight being derived through the backend systems from the data that is the BI data or enterprise data. Can you pause the video for a minute? So what you see here is the tool offers all these curated insights pre-populated for a user to consume. Now it has combination of textual insights, graphical insights, and the backend data from which this is curated. Now, can you play the video? Now, if you want to understand more details beyond the patterns that has been derived by the system, you can click on view details and you will see more deeper analysis at different cuts and granularities. Now it will be accompanied with charts, visual insights, textual insights and everything. Let's say you want to understand why that manufacturer is going negative for certain region. You click on that, get all the details along with your charts, plots, etc. You want to take an action? You can from here. Now, apart from this, if you want to still use the chat AI feature that the platform offers, where you want to do deeper analysis beyond what the AI has curated for you, you can go ask a question, get it. Now, with a single click of a button, you can download this as a report, maybe a PPT or a PDF, and you can use it in your day-to-day conversations. Now, what we saw here was curated dashboards, centralized reports, agentic explorations, automatic insights. This is BAI reimagined with agentic AI. That's all for us.
Yeah.
Seven,
All right.
please.
So as an end note, now what I'd like to say is that BI is here to stay. So all our customers are heavily invested on BI. So most of 70% of BI would be retained, and how the rest 20% and 30%, what we spoke about, the aspirational BI, how we can augment the current BI platform with agentic AI and Gen AI features. So that's what we are trying to achieve. That's the bridge we are trying to fulfill, right? So now whatever demos that we have shown here, so these are all working demos, this available, so you can come and visit in our booth. So we are happy to go over and explain this and how we can implement in your company or with your customer, right? So with this note, I'd like to close the sessions, and I would like to have any questions.